Not gonna lie, when my editor first told me we are covering this car for this episode of In the Headlights, I knew this episode would be interesting. Today I have the chance to drive one of the most arbing, most notorious and probably one of the most infamous cars in Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, the Volkswagen Scirocco. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of all our future uploads. The third generation Volkswagen Scirocco was introduced in 2008 as a much sportier and sleeker alternative as compared to other subcompact cars such as the Volkswagen Golf. This is the third generation introduced in 2008 and it follows the same formula as the 1974 first generation Scirocco. 4 seats, 2 doors, front engine and front wheel drive. In terms of looks, I can describe the car in 2 words: simple and sleek. No matter how much hate the Scirocco gets, you got to admit, it's a nice looking car. And it's probably one of the most recognizable Volkswagens alongside the Beetle. The Volkswagen Scirocco is based on the Golf platform. With its distinctive styling, great chassis and awesome undercarriage, it is a very nice car to drive and it handles very well. The model we have here is the pre-facelift model, which looks less intimidating without the aggressive styling. As we pop open the hood, we'll review the 2-litre 4-cylinder engine from Volkswagen. This engine packs 208 horsepower from the factory. And although you may see better figures in performance cars of today, this engine definitely is no slouch when it was released back in 2008. This car comes in 2 engine variants, the 2-litre TSI turbocharged variant and the 1.4 twin-charged variant. Moving on to the side of the car, you can see that the car actually isn't very long. And this means that the wheelbase of the car is actually shorter as well, which allows you to have better handling. I can reach the back of the car in 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. As you can see here, the door is also long enough for the rear passengers to enter and exit the car, which shows that Volkswagen did spare a thought for practicality. The owner of the car also upgraded to some aftermarket 18-inch wheels, which makes the car look better overall. White is kind of boring for a car like this, and if you're someone like me who wants it in striking purple or candy blue, you can look for our friends at Voss Automotive. With a keen understanding in vinyl wraps, paint and custom automotive bodywork, Voss is your best option if you're looking to give your car a 360-degree transformation without breaking the bank. The Scirocco is by no means a practical hot hatch. However, the car is pretty generous with its boot space. There's about 290 litres of boot space and you can go and carry some cargo around, or you can even go for your JB grocery shopping over the weekend. Overall, the Scirocco is a very well-designed car and it still does not look dated even for its age. And I'm sure it can compete in the second-hand market if one is looking for a sporty, affordable, performance-oriented hatchback. If you want to protect your car, you can look for 3K Defense from our friends at KGC Workshop. 3K Defense is established since 2016 and it is customized for Singapore's weather, providing you with the most suitable coating for our climate to protect and shine your car. It's going to be a hassle to get into the back seat of the car. Please don't let anybody sit in the back seat. The backlit dials and knobs actually do add a tad of premium to the car, and the buttons also do have a satisfying click when you activate them, which shows that Volkswagen actually do pay attention to detail. For legroom, there is pretty decent legroom for the front 2 passengers, and I can foresee myself driving for long periods of time in this car. Alright guys, we're now driving in the Volkswagen Scirocco. Off the bat, the car feels very nice and precise, steering is nice and tight, and throttle is very linear and gradual, which means that the car is very tamed and predictable, which makes it easy to drive and great for beginners as well. The suspension tuning is also well balanced and adequately aggressive enough for daily driving and also the occasional spirited drives around the bends. In terms of power and acceleration, this 2-litre turbocharged engine definitely packs a punch, as you get power instantaneously once you reach about 4,000 to 5,000 RPM once you put your foot down, which is pretty respectable considering its age. Paired with the DSG gearbox from Volkswagen, the car shifts very smoothly and you can take this car around town and drive it comfortably when you're just going to work or just settling some errands. The gear shifts and changes very quickly, and the engine and the gearbox works together to provide the driver with the utmost experience when he steps into the car. In terms of power, this car actually has a 2-litre engine and it is very peppy, especially when you reach around the 4K RPM mark. This car also has good fuel efficiency at an average of about 12 to 14 kilometers per litre. Despite being a performance-oriented car, that is pretty respectable as well. The car comes in either a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission, which is the one we have here. The dual-clutch transmission is responsible for that Volkswagen signature fart sound that you hear whenever you put your foot down. That's what I'm talking about. To maintain decent fuel economy for this car, you will definitely need to protect your engine, and for that we have SPC Lubricants, where protection is everything. Despite its negative sentiments, you got to admit, the Volkswagen Scirocco is a nice looking car. And despite being released all the way back in 2008, the design still looks timeless, and this car has endless engine potentials and tuning capabilities. So if you're looking for a performance-oriented, value for money, sports hatchback, the Volkswagen Scirocco is one of your top choice if you're considering to buy one in the used market. However, you guys should know the deal about Volkswagen cars. They tend to require a lot more maintenance than regular cars, as parts like their mechatronic unit, transmission and gearbox tend to go out after a certain amount of miles. However, if you put in the proper care and maintenance into these cars, they'll provide you with loads of fun for the long run. If you want to drive a hot hatch like this, you will need insurance, and for that, you have Direct Asia. Being the only direct insurer with the highest NCD, lifetime repair guarantee, and flexible coverage, Direct Asia protects your car so you can have a peace of mind to enjoy the moments that matter. Because what drives you matters most. Get a quote now at directasia.com, or you can call 665 5555 today. Thank you for watching this episode of In the Headlights. Be sure to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you real soon.
Motorist.